The more Kwama Adkwart Studios, Nyame Onsha so Nyamreti na hwe Adkwart Studios. Na bosumi ekoda nim na me busa se anamombe na watuo ana oda so de onsa hye odam refam hwe se Nyame nto amana mawo esi meyi sa adwen wo ya firi utiri mu na odi wasie ayoyo tuya na mo ne Nyankopon inshira so ati fa onsa to bibi so na Awurade nya kwan inshira yense wama akwadwiro ayo yare no so ye kwadwefo a bibie ne on ma chese obekọ wanim ewo abrabo we mu but maminka se bi nchiro ansa na masempoti no Encrophobia, there are a lot of people lamenting. A woman will say, Baby, ubi a juma. Unya Nipebia or war of a passo no way juma or Ghana. Now, Sa Ntiasiana say a year Jania Frigana. I say, Papa could be P or Barbontin, but Cassa, I just say. Na o ka free yawo send adwuma wa bie no obi obeba mu bia no nia opede apia bonten enra bitia brantie bi nso a wafa nipa no bi sani nua na ekoya ma ebewie no se na ko nya homa kura no ode be hye ne ho Adam free wia ne dwumu niema chese ono sesa ne niema ne biako bie store foforo ba miansa krachi se madwuma kwa na ekofo mesumi jim Adam free di hwe asema me de show trimu ni se no kware ne board things ni bibiara aso you bi a wode no kware board bra o wiase a ubedru ba bia hokubia na benin focus em bi se apentem ne anyantem ne nam ena branchi bia pe 4x4 pe kaya odemu ana yeah enya dia biri nyina na esika o ebi e dada akra na brabo enhihye eni so be yensiye be diligent ye kwadwo firi wa brabo na hunu ye se wo yenhihye am wa brabo na nhihye na de obedru ba bia obeso odru ye we me de cheo na masampoti a me kan se oma we yehia nimde mumienja MPP ne NDC ayaso mu twan ayebeji nwachinye se aye oba breakfast aye or the say and the power mo se ba utia je se MPP ne NDC shia ene ye we ana we mu ba yakra ohunu ye se MPP as a political party normal babontin na sure na omo ye no omo educate o mind on ti say NDC fonso yesa he say the omo see omo aban na aba ti ba bia ni so omo wura bia na no omo so omo wura ye mana na Kwame Bediako ye danso a adwen a wo mo man no me gura de anema ne we megwanwa ni se nkunta bia na otumi bu timunu Ghana ha wo mo anya djuma wo mo anya djuma kura so makatua me wo mo yesu hudu aseye bebia ke betumi anya bebi di na asi central for no frɛ no a omo musa ne nsɛm we no na omo busa na yampia yenko ne yenko tie nkyerɛkyerɛ mu bi a wo kyerɛkyerɛ na fa to fa same we say famu aba
alluvial. So that brings me to a solution, and it's called, the solution will be based on investment and development. Well, I'd like to start by an investment that I have as a vision for the country, which is water purification. This water purification, all our water bodies in this country, completely destroyed. Now, the water purification, together with the plants of recycling, will cost us 4.5 billion to purify all the water. And if we don't, we are destroying the lands. We are turning all the lands that we grow our crops on into a poisonous land. Very soon, we will not be able to have water in this country. And we will have problems in crop farming because the land has begun to be destroyed and is moving very fast, rapid. Now, if you look at the numbers I was just showing you, 4.5 billion, and the returns of this investment in 10 years is going to give us 32.1 billion, which is 200 tons of gold. Up to date, Ghana, we still don't have that gold in our reserves. We had 7 point something tons, and recently they said a few has been added. Whether over 10, I'm yet to find out. But 200 tons secures you 32 point something billion sitting as our reserves in 10 years, just by this investment. But there is more to this investment that is coming. We are going to use this investment as purifying the water with extra plants. Guys, I think you have the plants, so if you can show the plants. The plants, I would like the plants are here. So these plants are going to do three things. It's going to take the water. It's going to purify the water. And then it's going to extract the poison out of it, which is cyanide and mercury. But here's an interesting thing that we found. We did the research and realized that once you are able to extract the cyanide, you can turn it to ammonia. Ammonia means you're going into the process of urea. And urea is fertilizer. Currently, we import fertilizers for all farmers. This could be one of our biggest opportunities in lifetime, because now the one problem that we had has come to solve all the problems. Now we're taking the cyanide and the mercury and processing it with some sodium and turning it into fertilizers. Not only would have the purified water gone back into the grounds by building the biggest irrigation system that will harness our agriculture and make us become the #1 food producers in Africa with all our water bodies. This vision, it took Galamsey's problem for us to discover this opportunity. As I'm saying today, we will turn this around and Ghana will have the most jobs, because the recycling plant will be the beginning of our industrial power and our scientific research to find out what we can use anything in Ghana to do, from the plastic on the floor to the clay and to the poison in the water. And not to forget, this same water, we have no choice but to purify it, because our second pillar in this country is to connect all the waters and make it build a water transportation to connect the regions and unify us in doing business. 200 tons of gold as reserves, still not enough. The Galamsey Manifesto has a plan to build our own upscale mining, which is more upstream mining, mid-scale, colluvial mining, and then low-scale mining. But whatever water that is being purified is going into that ground that you just saw before this picture of colluvial mining. This farming, you need to put those pipes onto the ground, the pipelines, to create that. So there will be a whole circulation of manufacturing chain order. You are looking at a new Ghana being transformed through this. Now, I want to talk a little bit more about this opportunity of the Galamsey being turned into an industrial hub within the regions. What I saw in a lot of places in Ashanti region, there was almost every 2-3 miles, there was a valley with water that is poisoned and people in the water, sort of, washing the water with poison. So this is some kind of issue that it will be so difficult to resolve it if we don't give back to society. This plant is going to create jobs for the same people who were doing Galamsey. They will probably be paid more than they were receiving from chasing the gold crumbs. Purification, which is going to be 4.5 billion, would also create tens of thousands of jobs within the nation itself. So it's not like the 4.5 billion is going out of the country. The 4.5 billion would be payment that will go back onto Ghanaians as workers, whilst we turn that into billions of dollars. You saw it yourself, 32.1. As such, other ideas around this gold industry, I like to say that the imperialists, who are companies like, or imperialists who support companies like Ashanti Goldfields, you might never know who the owner is because it says Ashanti Goldfields, or Goldfields, or many other fields. They all amount to trillions of dollars when you go back just 40 years, 4 decades. In 8 to 9 regions, this amount of wealth has been extracted. We decided to do a bit of research and not investigate them, but it's public information to find out more. That how are these people surviving and investing in our country and digging a hole, cracking a mountain, taking all the gold out, and not even covering it? I'm sure you saw it in my presentation for the Galamsey Part 2 video. Who is sponsoring them? I realize that most of these companies are also getting funded from financial institutions like IMF. My vision, my mission is to write off our debt with IMF, because we don't need to owe them, but we can simply have, and not to say that we don't want any foreigner to also mine here, but we just don't want any foreigner to extract from here, and we don't get the skill set. That's why we're still washing our waters with sand, looking for gold crumbs. Why the top people, they go straight to the rock, determine where the gold is, put the machines up, cut, and take the value out straight away. When we try to get value, we destroy the whole country. This tells me that we don't have the skill set, and our mindset for creating wealth is still slavery. You can see it there, because we are digging the soil and washing it with our hands. They are using machines to excavate, to crack into our stones. I stand here today because industrialization is the only way out for us as a nation to build ourselves. If we don't put this in place, and I don't just have to be president to do that, but I'm already on a mission to make sure that this is accomplished for Ghana and for the rest of African countries. We live by machines. We wake up in the morning and I iron our clothes with machines. We are on the phone, it's a machine. We drive to work, it's a machine. None of these machines that we can build, and none of these machines that we are using. Over the tour in the 276, I realized that the most markets were on the roadside, and the most businesses were in the bush, where someone is excavating or moving the earth and extracting the wealth that we go back to either the IMFs or the World Bank to borrow for our economy. Well, Ghana, I'd like to say this to you before I come to an end with my closing remarks, that we cannot borrow money. We cannot borrow money and fix our lands with it and pay our workers with it. We can only create wealth from what we have, from what belongs to us. And if we're able to turn it around, then we'll be in control of our wealth for the rest of our lives. Our children will adapt from it. They will learn from it. They will come with more skills, and there will be more intel to expand our vision. I have a vision, and I see Ghana being transformed to the likes of Dubai, America, and most of these Western countries that our children are running to, just to stop them from running away, because they don't come back anymore. And I don't see why we
The Yamiasi, Mamusa said, Mamisha said, oh, baby, I'm here. Ghana D4 said, the Babon team, Becca said, Yami, a yin and I can't be the apple. Yan TV. One more Cassa, you know. I suffer for Cassiano. Eka, the Cassapa Oka. As ye done or my Ghana, Emmanuel. Ghana recording. Mibusa said, Ghana enkusi da vein. Ana ensempa tisi ye begia tum. Enkusi da vein. Na wakani nyina kakra bi na weka kan. Na okasafa water purification. Na mibusa se sa sem we ewo NDC for adwin mu se insuo ase no ombehwe no ma yeniye se omai yan set your priorities right yini Bediako ena mibusa se na kwa Bediako mbrebe pa na ultimately tena a wasua bibi sei he obi wo na dema chedie bia ya de nyame ase amano ebise obi ohodoma de obetumi aye no mimi ntumi nye wontumi nye mesumi wo bibi a betumi aye ya kan nyina abom ne de build o man ya to abawie de ye kan sem bebre omo tie na akoma pam tie omo di atem but ye koso asa aka kan se na nakwa Bediako oni Ghana muaye na nakwa Bediako oni Ghana muaye na bibi oho no mo na ehu hia se yakobompa ye bia mu na otie na nakwa Bediako nsem a oka hwe kwan a oka water purification na se yetumi atwe niema ewura ensuo no kura no a kise na nakwa Bediako ntu bibia ntwene o ni oye we no nyina chi no yebesa nya fertilizer yensuo na ni atie no o kire mfidi a yebetumi di atie yensuo na ni anatio okasem bia ehu yebetu abane ye kan ho nsem kan se nema omode agu nsuo ni mo no tini konsase ni mu enti yanhwe yi a ya boraba wo mutumi kase wiase nyina eye papa no ekwa bonche yebesa de ade abre se ye koko no kro na ya nyasem enam galamse ne niema boni omudi gu nsuo ni mu and yet Ghana and Coney 2 gold were from Sao. But I didn't be a way, one thing I can't count. But the diary never, and it was soon near a war. And now, yes, I'm on your phone. Not because you are seeing a very year or china. And a coin of a first one being cigar, egg, and I'm saying. And no more trio gusua, and yes, I'm kitto. Say, I make a say, on be dasso. I will quiet him. Our Mugusu essay and Sassim. Because your mamma and Crawford to be. Into your no, Nadia or Beckham was some Cassibiao. And also over the 4 years. Now, when I said, your President of Mamma, I guess who said, what got drain commission and no motion. What does the man who's been back? Say or shem or could you know na usai not in Sabino if so a friend more 2 times a pencil go 2 times yeah. I send me a vessel of mutin be a no mokikan in soon I say the Naka Bediako say 4.5 billion. Na the way yanso a anya kaw edemwa ebebre o man no na ne ya ye tu aguo no kra no eno se benya fertilizer wo aba eti mo ma branch yi ne nsem pa we ya wo kan abedane ono o man ne ntokwa. Maybe a way they cause you 2 minutes crown and get Yajinatumo. And somewhere they cause you 2 minutes and yet a brownie bay and then Samonia and cause your Jim the American and Yajinatum. Okay, a mindset, another idea here about saying to me, answer, say, I dream. I will near maybe one, not your dream, sister. I don't know how no. Your mindset, you know, I will form the door. Aha, Madam Minion, you was a brony being in Yansas. Because your man, we am. I was just afford to me a year near ma, or beauty abrofono. But I always say, I belong to young into. Messi, I was just afford Kaisa, or yen near ma, or yeno. Sagana, ya dear knee air to for and near Macasia baby as never Casina baby before you. But Yangia Montum. Yangia Montum, they say, or they say, your president, Yawabe, the new year, your Kwama, Bessia, plain our fun and saying, or where. In Kitamwa opening Crawford in Abyssio. You fit to me for Bessia to mention Chili, yet my way do. Bessie. Senka omo ebe if you na ni do na ka omo person on be gina no se MPP NDC parties aka no no obusa se na oba kwan person na be faso a obema o maga na akwanim obie na no ka besia pe na ka yi na si nche na kwan Bediako eka sem bi se we can only create what? Wealth. See ya dream say ya ni ankasa. Ye susu bibi e we ma we mu. Na ya fa japade Nyankopon de ma ye no. E de achichire ya ma idea. Ke mo me ye de bia biem. Mo me ye de bia biem. Na hwe ni kutrayam. Hwe ni kutrayam. Madame for suffer we can say more see. Akufo ado hye ase e mampani dada on say mampani dada be so ndin so say na university o say mampani dada hye ase a na okasa na osaye campaign o say papa no wa feli jo mama so ye bi jo mama call a voter region and also oil campaign in some more can ye be we ya to abama wawie afi na wo sa kwa kan sem we sa to nkrofo adwen mu enema ka be no de agu kwa mu dada tinka wo nko se bre nko gina platform so kura kika we bi mu emre saye no do so dodo we afena omo bibi obekoto obeka chia omo eto abama no hwe wo de entrance na mfa ne mengu kwam na kwan Bediako ne nsem bebrebe o kan ye water purification ho asem na America yesuo na asai kwan be na ofaso o mampani ofaso na yensuo asa abane de tibia mu biom na se ye made mfaso abo ma no be kakra America nam de asem ba yue ne se na kwan Bediako ya chedi o entin kamesre se sambre ya otutu ne eme the president names of penasem can you show on chain baby can you show on chain or you Ghana this year the water purification won't say okay now can start because in fear number become na yensu kon say dia amwa ni o onye because onye NDC ni ana ofre no kra NDC fo ne mekwan asie den katia no mekwan se wonim se fashion aya call NDC mu na Ashanti region say the ministers now yi no wanyi bi amfiri Ashanti region voter region omakobubu womo office say crofo oyi womo we alright enipa oyi womo abeseve wo ma we o but on say political yentumi anchire oman no ama omonte ne ma biase ensuo say enka ho kwaye no say omugusu tugalam say niema enka obia ana yaban na aba tibabi ani so owura kra no owura omianji e ba ntum wai na kwa bi omianji ne ntum na beboae na eni pa Nyankopon di adom no oh me kasa apostle ma assembly ye dedodo nti wutie no so nyode wutie na kwa Bediako no anyode o me na mde nchiritum abio minim adia ya papa o minim adia ya papa ana wodi mi esan ya media de boni bi achi o oh ana ohunu ne nsa ohura wakwa ohuru ne nsa wo ayi nchansi finu ya political nchansi ya ye finu mu no ohuru ne nsa onko fe fin kaka no oh senka wo free party nu ba bi na eba ya dwen ye mindset no enya onyame mo my Ghana ni nya ni free ndem ya dache ebi kasa dem ebi hwan kromo ebi sunda e boni ebi asunda me na ntwie bi na epam no wonu eso ne ebedi anim a abere ne akoyanim ensuo no ho asem a o kan ye no NDC fo moma enonya ade ehia mo pa asɛm hunu n'ani so a ɔha momfrɛ no dan sɛmpa a wɔka no ɔnhyɛseɛ ɔse ɔmɛyɛ president ansa na wɔyɛ saa nneɛma yi o ɛne nana hɛaseɛ ntɛm wae na nsuo no deɛ agye nsɛm a Ghana yɛbɛhunu amane onyame ɔnhyira wo wotie nsɛm a ti sɛ yi a wɔkanya wo ho ne yɛasɔ yɛ mmaa num ne yɛayɛ ne yie na ɔbɔfoɔ ɔnim sɛ ɔbɛwe adoa ti a nkɔhwɛ hoi ɔmɛnyɛ ɔmaa ne yie na yɛn ne yie a yɛne ani bɛka yɛ maa wei mu a akwantuo no so ɛbɛte awurade nhyira wo mo ɛne hwɛ ne tie bye bye